Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Costa del Sol. Look at this little oasis we're in. I'll just spin you around. It's not quite a circle of the square. I mean, it is a square, but it's not the town square. It's actually obviously a beach club in the summer, but obviously not open at the moment. We are in between Benalmadena and Torremolinos. We don't really have a plan for today besides to have a really good walk around. I actually didn't realise how close the two towns are to each other to be able to walk between them, even though I've looked on Google Maps. And I've parked literally right in the middle. Anyone that's coming to this area, parking is not a problem. If you're looking on the apps like Park for Night, Search for Sites, there's quite a few places there, but literally every street is free parking. There's loads of vans. It's very much tolerated from what I can see so far. We were here last night. This is our first day actually exploring. So yeah, it's literally rock up, find a place that you like, and away you go. So it's really not an issue to be able to park here. It's all free of charge. No services though. So obviously come prepared for however long you intend to stay. We got here yesterday, we'll stay today, we'll stay tonight, and then I think we're going to move into Malaga. We're going to keep strolling along the promenade and have a look around probably Torremolinos first, and then obviously we'll head into Benalmadena. I'm really excited to see the marina because it's meant to be one of the best in Europe. And I hear there's a bit of an issue with the border crossing. So stay tuned and we'll see what that's like when we get to the border crossing for the Costa del Sol between Torremolinos and Benalmadena. That's tongue in cheek. See you soon. You probably can't make out because of the road noise, but what are they, parakeets I think, little green parakeets. They're absolutely everywhere, chirping away. Very pretty, but I understand they cause quite a bit of destruction. Well, this surprises me. Maybe it shouldn't, I don't know. I don't know enough about both of these towns, but so far, from what I've seen, Torremolinos promenade anyway is much busier than Benalmadena. It's bigger, it's longer, it has more variety. It's not just bar, restaurant, bar, restaurant, bar, restaurant. There are some shops, clothes shops, tourist shops, little supermarkets. So, I mean, Torremolinos doesn't have a marina, which is where we are heading for now. But in terms of variety, Torremolinos is winning so far, although we're now walking right down the middle, down the main street. And I mean, again, it's super quiet. Yes, it's a Sunday, I get that now, so I can't really judge. But then when we got here yesterday afternoon and I walked down the same road, this road goes right the way through down into Benalmadena. When I walked down this road yesterday, and like I say, we got here yesterday and last night, we went for a quick walk. Saturday, again, really, really quiet, but certainly more life in Benalmadena and Torremolinos than most other places, although still quiet. Compared to what I expected, I don't know. I just thought the Costa del Sol, working in travel, leisure and tourism for so many years, was a year-round destination, and it is. But if you come here out of season, in the shoulder season as they call it, I'd actually be quite disappointed. I just expected there would be more. Dog barking. Shut up, dog. I mean, I came here as a kid, you know, family holidays back in the, whatever it was, 80s, I guess, 90s. I don't know, I was a kid. Maybe I remember things wrong. But actually, no, I think also I was speaking to someone in a bar last night, a friend that owns a bar here, or a friend of a friend that owns a bar here. And he was saying, typical, but since COVID, it has changed. A lot more has closed down. They don't open in the winter like they used to. Can't afford it. The tourism isn't there as much as it used to be, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, let's keep walking. Let's get down to Benalmadena. We've still got to cross that border and make sure our paperwork is in order. I've got Coa's passport with me, my passport with me. Coa's got his animal health certificates. Obviously we can get from one town to the other. Well, this is it. We're at the border. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. I mean, where am I? I'm not in Torremolinos, but I'm not in Benalmadena. We're like in the middle of the two. It's a bit spooky. Am I in Spain? I don't know. Quite funny. I mean, I've never seen, excuse the road noise, it's obviously quite busy. I've never seen two towns that have like a hello and goodbye in such dramatic, large fashion. I'm wondering who put theirs up first, because I guess both towns have separate town halls, councils, ayuntamientos. And did one put one up, and then the other one's like, oh shit, they've got one, so we better have one. Quite funny that there's, I don't know, 100-meter gap between the two of them. You leave Torremolinos, you enter Benalmadena, or you leave Benalmadena into Torremolinos. But in the middle, where are we? Quick, let's get back to native territory. Let's get back into Spain and head into Benalmadena and down to the marina. Really excited to see this. Here's another point, which I don't know if I've mentioned before in other videos, but all of these big towns, we are now approaching the heart of Benalmadena, into one of the most well-known marinas in the world. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's a huge square. All of the parking completely free. Welcoming visitors, you know, welcoming tourists. Yes, there's a lot of apartments, they need the parking, but it's all absolutely free. You just don't get that in the UK, do you? Everywhere you've got to park, you've got to pay. Makes such a difference. Anyway, rant over. Let's go check out this amazing marina. And not only is it the parking, but look at that. Outside of the bathing season, completely understandable, dogs are allowed on the beach in Torremolinos and Benalmadena. Not all of it, there are certain sections, but happy days. I think Mr. Coa is going to go for a run. Yeah, this is a pretty special marina. I don't know what you can see behind me, but there's like little islands with apartment blocks, and the marina weaves all the way around. It's pretty spectacular. I mean, it's a very unique design, I think. I would love an apartment in here, but definitely beyond my means. Very sophisticated. But also, I'm sure, probably a little bit trashy. Let's keep walking. here is the biggest plus for Benalmadena and Torremolinos. They have doggy beaches, or beaches that the dogs are allowed on out of season. And so many places in Spain don't have that. And we've been walking around for a good 3 hours. We're not even finished yet. But it's time for Mr. Koa to have a little bit of fun. I don't think there's anything nicer than seeing Koa just running and having fun. He loves the water and he loves the beach. Yes, I hate it that he rolls in the sand because it goes everywhere. But I've learnt the trick is that when we leave the beach, what we do is we find the closest place from the sea to the promenade. I'll throw a stone, so obviously he goes in, gets as much of the sand off as possible, and whilst he's swimming out, I run onto the promenade, and so when he comes out and he sees me, he doesn't stop and roll in the sand, he just literally runs across to me. It's the way we're working, it's the best way to get him semi-clean from the sand before we leave the beach. But he loves it. And that's, like I said in I think a previous video, he's definitely half dolphin. He absolutely adores being in the water. And I love watching him, bless him. And he deserves it. What was it, about 3 hours walking around, and I promised him a swim and a play on the beach, so that's what we're doing. So, promenade, Benalmadena. As you can see, much quieter, far more chilled out. I mean, there's a little area just here, which I'm sure in the summer would be quite popular and busy, but at the moment on a Sunday afternoon in middle of December, it's pretty quiet. So, as I said earlier, I think the way it seems to work is that Torremolinos has a much more vibrant, shall we say, promenade, but the main road, the main strip, whatever you want to call it, through Benalmadena seems to have a lot more life to it than Torremolinos does. So I guess you pay your money, you take your choice when you cross that famous border. But no, we've enjoyed our time. I mean, the marina was beautiful. They're both nice towns. I mean, it's not for everybody, but then Benidorm isn't for everybody. But it's just nice to see a little bit of life in the winter. Like I said, not as busy as I expected, but maybe that's a good thing. But you know, we will be going down in the new year to Estepona Might swing by Fengarola. I don't think I'm going to bother with Marbella, but then I guess I kind of like should, so we will see. But anyway, let's finish today's walk around and get back to the van. And I believe, you know what I'm going to say, there's a bit of footy this afternoon. Man City, Man United, and then Southampton Spurs. So I see some beers in the van and an afternoon relaxing with footy on the cards. But like I say, let's finish this little stroll around Benalmadena before we get back. It goes without saying, there is only one way to finish our walk around Torremolinos and Benalmadena. Can you guess what it is? Well, what a difference a few days make. Christmas done, New Year done, welcome to 2025. And after our fun and games in Benalmadena, Torremolinos, I decided that me and Coa, he's down there, I don't know if you can see him or not, needed a break from the big smoke, as it were. So we've run up into the hills. I'm not going to say mountains, although we're getting there. We're actually heading for the Camino del Rey. That probably won't be in this, or it most definitely won't be in this video diary. It'll be in the next one. But as we're slowly making our way up, we're stopping at a couple of towns en route. And last night we stopped just outside of Álora El Grande. Excuse the pronunciation. I know you guys pick up on it all the time, but that's my attempt. I'll drop the name below. We didn't go into the town itself, but we did stop at Castillo della Motta, which is on the outskirts of the town, set on a little plateau, a now derelict, I'm going to say building. It is a castle to all intents purposes. I spoke to a local guy that was walking his dogs, and he said the plan was it was going to be a water tower. But I mean, that's one hell of an elaborate water tower. I kind of like got the feeling just from walking around that it's almost like someone had too much money, wanted to build themselves a castle to live in, because when you go inside and you're walking around, you can almost feel, envisage and kind of like see how the layout could work if it was a residential castle, if there's such a way of describing it. I mean, it is beautiful, but obviously it's derelict and it's falling down. A lot of money would be needed to make it safe, I'm sure, but you can actually go inside, you can look around. I mean, it's, you know, it's got some real Romanesque kind of features to it, as well as like medieval styling externally, and then, you know, like the pillars and the columns internally. I mean, some stunning terraces. Obviously the views are second to none. I could imagine being up on the top, looking out at the view, you know, king of your castle, hosting, you know, a beautiful cocktail party or something like that. I mean, it probably was planned to be and could have been stunning. But I didn't personally buy into the fact that it was built originally to be a water tower. I mean, it even looked like inside there was a shaft for what I guess would have been a lift. And also the construction, I know externally it looked old, internally I'm no builder, but it looked like quite a modern form of construction. So again, you know, there's not much on Google, unfortunately. I couldn't find a lot about it, but it is beautiful, and more to the point, the park up was so peaceful, and it's one of the first we've done in a while where Koa didn't have to be on a lead. I could just literally open the door and he could just run and mooch around, which, you know, I'm sure he enjoyed. He certainly slept very well. So anyway, today we moved on and we're now in Álora, name on the screen. Reminds me of Italy, because we used to use the word Álora a hell of a lot when I lived in Italy. Sorry, 2 seconds. Koa is munching on something. Koa, what you doing? Anyway, so we're now in Álora. We've just got here. We've come up to the castle again, and footage incoming. But this one did say that there wasn't a lot here, and I kind of agree. I mean, it's beautiful. Again, it's on a plateau overlooking the town. You can imagine back in the day how it could have been, but there isn't, unfortunately, a lot left of this castle now. But that said, it's free to get in, and I could come in with Koa. So that's a bonus. 2 castles. The first one, you know, what it is, we're not too sure, but two castles that we could come in together and have a little walk around. I mean, they're not big, you know, you're done in 15-20 minutes, but yes, very nice to be away from the big smoke. So we're going to wander into town. We're going to have a look around Álora, and then we need to head towards, obviously, the entrance, the start of the Camino del Rey. We've booked our ticket, so we need to get up there. We've got a couple of days and we're like 40 minutes away. So we're going to probably find another couple of remote, you know, park ups where we can just relax and chill out. We're going to do the Camino del Rey, and then I think we're going to head back down to the coast again, because one place I didn't check out, obviously Benalmadena, I've done Torremolinos, I didn't do Fuengirola. So maybe I'm going to head there. There's an area which has got some big buildings with like street art, graffiti, motifs, I believe. So I've seen some pictures and it looked fantastic. So if I can find it, I think I know where it is. Someone drew me a little map, so let's hope that works. We'll definitely check that out. But anyway, let's go and finish looking around Álora, and then say Fuengirola will be after the Camino del Rey in a few days' time. Let's go. So, Álora is hilly, the streets are all cobbled and they're very narrow. I mean, there's a lot of cars all over the place, and obviously scooters and motorbikes. With the streets being so narrow and the buildings being so high, like the echo and the vibration as they're going past is crazy. Sorry, Koa just got himself wrapped up in his lead. But we're heading towards what I think is the centre. Let's see if there's any little bars or anything or cafes open. Yapping dogs, as always in these villages. But also, one thing I forgot, and I hope I'm right, is we should now have stereo back in terms of my audio. I think I've worked out these Lark microphones after their incompetence with their instruction manual. Anyway, onwards. I tell you what, once you get into the heart of the town, it's actually very nice. Very nice. Bigger than I thought, grander than I thought it was going to be. And of course, all the bars, for obvious reasons, that are got the terraces that are still in the sun are the busiest because everyone is soaking up as much vitamin C as they can. But no, it is super lovely. I really like this town, sorry. Okay, we've come to a bit of a dead end. But let me spin you around. How cute is this? I mean, they look like obviously they've been refurbished. And I walked past a house just now and peered through a window. And it looked huge inside. So many of these houses, look at that, it's like a little grotto entrance, isn't it? So many of these houses are so deceptive from the outside. Sorry. I'm getting caught up in Costa's lead, not having a good day. Yeah, so deceptive from the outside. I find that in a lot of the villages and the towns that I go to. You know, you go through a door and then you're greeted by, you know, a huge reception area, normally some archways, you know, beautiful tiling. We're having to walk back on ourselves now. I'll spin you round again, down this little walkway that we came down, just for a bit of exploration. But yeah, Álora is big and definitely, one of the nicest towns I think I've seen so far. Oh, there's a doggy. Anyway, we're going to head back to the van. I think it's time for some food and see what tonight's plan is going to be. We may come back into town, or we may just chill in the van, purely to see the village in the evening, the town in the evening. So yeah, but Álora, I can recommend Álora. We like. This is a problem though, whether it comes out or not, but how steep the streets are.